And I think evil exists in many forms, and it exists in callous disregard for loss of life for profit. That's evil, right? And that's a real thing. Like, you could say evil is the devil. Here's a little lighter here, buddy. You could say evil is Satan, and evil is demons, and evil is, exorcisms and shit. There you go. Look at that, baby. But also, evil is profit over human life, which is real.
Is this the shit you think about when you lay in bed at night?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How the fuck do you sleep?
Sometimes I don't. That's a real problem at night.
Yeah.
At night, I have my most anxiety-filled moments about this stuff. I've talked about it openly.
Wow.
Like, I'll really freak out at night because I legitimately think we are one or two events away from living in the Stone Age again. And I think it could happen in our lifetime, and it could happen to you and I. Like, I'm really convinced that the fabric of society is way more fragile than anyone appreciates.
Yeah.
That most people appreciate, rather.
I mean, I feel it in the air.
Yeah.
Can't you just shut it off and not... I mean, there's so many people in this country just walk around and they just don't... All these things that we're talking about right now, they don't think about it. They just live their lives. Don't you think that that's a happier life or no? I just feel so stressed out right now. Just... Why?
Because that's the reality that we live in.
It's stressing me out.
That's the reality that we live in. We live in a very dangerous, complicated world.
Yeah.
All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha Rekah Kodash, that honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone. Wow. The Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abba babal. So, as you heard, Joe Rogan, he's getting stressed out, dealing with the reality which we live in, which you see it, captured in the screen. The caption, it says, this is Joe Rogan answering the comedian, we live in a very dangerous, complicated world. Yeah, right? And the other man, the comedian, I believe he may be a Chinese. Either way, he's a son of Lot, but he might be a Jake. You know what I'm saying? But because he's funny, he's a funny comedian. But he said, "Why don't we just walk around ignorant?" Right? It seems happier to be that way. While the world is literally in an insane mindset. Okay. All right. The definition of insanity. It says the dated, noun version of insanity, a severely disordered state of mind, usually occurring as a specific disorder, which Joe Rogan used the word anxiety, right? He has anxiety-filled moments. Why? Because he has disorder in his mind, right? Because he don't know what's right or wrong. He don't know what's real or not, because the Lord's not dealing with him, right? But that's why you have the prophets, all right, which were set up to show the way what is right and wrong. Proverbs, Malachi 3, verse 18. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai, and him that serveth him not. So this is what we have, and this is why we have we're stable. All right, we're stable because we have knowledge and understanding. All right, which we have wisdom. Okay, these people in the world, they don't have that because they believe in a false reality that they've been told to believe in. It says in the law, unsoundness of mind, meaning that they're unsafe in the mind, or lack of the ability to understand that prevents someone from having the mental capacity required by law to enter into a particular relationship. Which just shows you that the whole world right now is insane. You got divorce rates skyrocketing, which shows they can't deal with the relationship. They can't play the part they were created to be, right? male or female. And then you got the abortion rate skyrocketing, which they're killing their own children, which shows that they're insane, right? It says status, right? They desire an artificial status that doesn't exist. That's why you have all these social media, heads lying to the people so that you could get rich schemes, or, all these different lies and things that they push, false doctrines. It says, or transaction or that releases someone from criminal or civil responsibility. So they're not well enough to deal with civil responsibility. And that's what the military is crying about. Which is right here. It says the intelligencer.com. It says the mission readiness new report based on U.S. Department of Defense data says 77% of young Americans 17 to 24 years old are ineligible for military service. See, so they don't have the ability to fulfill their civil responsibility. Why? Because they're insane. All right? And that's why a lot of people are superly obese, because they're trying to comfort themselves with food. All right? Because they're really suffering from mental issues of living a false reality and believing in lies. All right, so this is from Forbes Advisor. All right, and it's dealing with marriage statistics. It says revealing divorce statistics in 2024. It says how many marriages end in divorce. So what about the famous statistic, half of all marriages end in divorce? That's true, but only when it comes to the first marriages, half which are dissolved. Second and third marriages actually fail at a far higher rate. You see, at a far higher rate. So these people are unstable. They can't even be in a relationship. All right, because they're insane. I wanted to see if they show what side is following the most. It says most common reasons for divorce. Couples report many different reasons for ending a marital relationship. However, these are the most explanations cited by divorcing couples. Lack of commitment is the most common reason for divorce, because they're insane. That's why they wouldn't have an insane person go into a contract, because they're unreliable. These people that are living in America today and really throughout the world are fucking insane, unreliable. And that's the difference between the elect and the rest of the world, is we're taking responsibility. All right, we're saying we did sin and we deserve this slavery, but now we repent and we ask Yahweh to forgive us in Yahweh Shai by the Holy Spirit. And we're showing our faith by showing up and doing this work faithfully and enduring into the end, Lord willing. It says, in fact, 75% of individuals and couples cited lack of commitment as the reason for their divorce. This was the most common cause of marriage ending, exceeding even infidelity. Right? So even though they didn't even cheat with somebody, they just said, I don't care for this responsibility, pretty much. You see? So this shows you that this is a faithless generation. No commitment, no nothing. There's nothing there. The lights are on, but nobody's home. They're insane. All right, so this is dealing with abortion rates. All right, by country 2024. Now let me jump down. It says the unusual relationship. It says the unusual relationship between abortion rates and abortion frequency. Perhaps surprisingly, studies show that abortion rates are often higher in nations where abortion is illegal than they are in nations where it is legal. So they're saying that abortion happens more when it's illegal than when it's legal, which shows a spirit of rebellion. See, it says this is because abortion tends to be more readily available in wealthier, more developed nations, which are really so-called white nations. It says where women are less likely to experience an unplanned pregnancy, right? Because they're able to abort the baby sooner, whether it's the night after pill, whether it's they could wear condoms, whether, all these different things. But they're telling you where the so-called white people are, you're able to do more liberty of wickedness. All right? It says, in large part because birth control and proper sexual education are also widely available and sexual crimes are less common. Conversely, women in developing and less developed countries who tend to have decreased access to birth control and education, but who are more often the victims of sexual crimes, are 3 times more likely to experience an unplanned pregnancy. Yet 93% of the countries with the most restrictive abortion laws are developing nations. As a result of these factors, the market for abortion is greater in undeveloped countries, which you have these so-called Caucasians, these red devils that go out, right, to push this propaganda upon those people, whether it's through Christianity, whether it's through the promise of education, whether it's through the government system, right? They push that abortion spirit on these people, right? In these underdeveloped countries. In fact, they'll say, well, if you have this baby, it's going to be hard for you. If you kill your baby, guess what? You could have a career. It says, even when abortion is legally prohibited, with no legal recourse, pregnant women in these countries often turn to unlicensed and illegal abortion clinics to obtain an abortion. Illegal abortions are more dangerous than legal abortions, as they tend to be conducted by people with less training, right? They just desire to get an abortion. All right, so now I'm going to bring it back to America. All right, the whore that rides the beast, who's going to be destroyed at the returning of Yahushua. This is the pewresearch.org. What the data, which this is done January 11, 2023, says about abortion in the U.S. Pew Research Center has conducted many surveys about abortion over the years, providing a lens into Americans' views on whether the procedure should be legal, among a host of other questions. In a center survey conducted after the Supreme Court's June 2022 decision to end the constitutional right to abortion, 62% of U.S. adults said the practice should be legal in all or most cases, while 36% said it should be illegal in all or most cases. So as you can see, right, Americans push that you should have the right to abort your children. You see that? That's why the world is looking to abort their children, even if they got to go to, untrained people to get an abortion in these what they call underdeveloped countries. Why? Because they're hoping to make it here to America or into a European Union country and start some kind of false fantasy of a white supremacy dream, right? They think that if they don't have children, they'll be more accepted. Life will be easier. So this is to show the state that America's in, and really the world. It says in Psalms 127 verse 3 in the KJV, "Lo, children are an heritage of Yahweh, and the fruit of the womb is his reward." NLT, children are a gift from Yahweh. They are a reward from him. But it shows you that the wicked are ruling. You got women destroying their own homes with divorce and infidelity, and even the men, right? As well as them killing their own children, right? This place is full of insane people, all right? And this is why the Lord has to destroy it, to bring the world back into a correct way of being, in a state which under the righteous the people shall rejoice, and under the wicked, as we are now, the people mourn. That's why they're in an insane state, and that's why they're coming up with these false realities, because they're trying to escape the hell that the world's been created under the so-called white man, the red devil the Bible speaks of.